face it, we are all dreaming about what it might be like to win $1.5 billion in an instant. But what should you do if that dream becomes reality? CNBC's personal finance expert, Sharon Epperson, has some words of wisdom for the lucky winner.
It's 11:02. Congratulations. You're now the world's newest billionaire. Now, once the shock is worn off, there are a few do's and don'ts that you're going to want to follow so that you can stay rich. First, don't call your relatives or hold a press conference. Stay anonymous as long as you can. People are going to know soon enough. Do sign the ticket before you celebrate, because if you lose it and someone else signs it, they'll claim the jackpot. Don't claim it until you've put your team together. An accountant, a lawyer, a financial advisor. They'll help you figure out the tax bill, how to protect your estate, and come up with a long-term plan. Do you take the money all at once or split it up over 30 years? Once the money starts rolling in, do this. Take a breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Although it may be tempting, don't make any major changes right now, like buying 14 houses, a few yachts and Maseratis, and don't quit your job just yet. Do pay off all your debts, student loans, credit cards, mortgages, you name it. Do consult with that financial planner about investing and spending over time so you don't risk losing the entire jackpot. And it might be nice to share your wealth. Donate to a few charities. Just make sure they're reputable so you don't get scammed. Now, when you win, nearly everyone's going to know it. Powerball is in 44 states, and all but a handful of them have laws that require lottery officials to release the name and city of resident to anyone who asks. Now, if you really want to stay anonymous, go out and buy your ticket in a state that does not have those laws. That's Delaware, Kansas, Maryland, North Dakota, and Ohio. And when you win, contact us at CNBC. We have experts, financial advisors, accountants, lawyers who are ready to help you figure out what to do with that jackpot, Brian.
And if you don't want to be anonymous, we'll happily put you on television, I'm sure.
Absolutely. We would love it.
Okay. Everybody who wins, I mean, nobody's won anything this big, wants to take the lump sum.
99% of people do that.
Isn't the annuity the better bargain?
Well, you know what? If you want to be sure that you're going to get some money every year for 30 years, then you're going to take that annuity. But you really want to talk to your team, your financial experts, and see whether or not it makes sense for you and find out what the tax bill is going to be, because that $1.5 billion isn't $1.5 billion unless you get it stretched out over those 30 years.
Little birdie told me you do not have a ticket yet.
I do not have a ticket
Will
yet.
you be purchasing one?
Can I go now?
We are live. Are you going to go get one?
I'm going to go get one.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Sharon Epperson, thank you very much.
All right.
Now, let us bring in Shark Tank investor Kevin OLeary, also chairman of OLeary Financial Group, CNBC contributor as well. Kevin, okay, here is the scenario. One of our audience hits the jackpot tonight. After picking themselves off the floor and hugging the dog, they pick up the phone and give you a call. What do you tell them?
The first thing I say is you take the lump sum because you don't want to take the credit risk of any state. You could get Puerto Rico'd or Detroited. It would be very bad because you're actually asking the state to stay solvent to pay you for the next 30 years. Bad idea. Take the cash. Then you split it into at least 4 different financial institutions, but you haven't spent a dime yet. Because you're in a state that has to disclose your name, every guy and his dog is calling you, including family members you haven't heard from in 25 years. You do nothing. You basically take the no-risk scenario for the beginning, where you invest in government bonds and a few AAA corporate credits. You get about 4%. After all of this is over, you're going to make $133,000 a month, and that's after tax. Not as much as you thought, but enough to get by and buy potato chips and a beer once in a while. Then you deal with your family, and here's what you say. I love all of you very, very much, and I want to give you money. I'm not going to lend it to you. I'm going to gift it to you under one condition and one condition only. It's the last check you ever get from me. Come and talk to me about the bowling alley, restaurant, bar you want to open. I'll write you a check, but that's it. Meanwhile, 30 days have gone by. Your first $133,000 is in your jeans. You don't give anything to anybody for the next 30. Now you've got over $266,000 in cash. You can start to have some fun. Never spend the principal, only the interest. You know who taught me that? My mother.
That's good interest and some tough love. And by the way, Kevin,
Absolutely.
speaking of tough, I'm going to dial it back a little bit because most people won't win the Powerball, okay? It's been a tough day, tough year for the stock market. The Dow down another 364 points today. We're